Okay, adventure time. Going to a lake I've never fished before. A small lake, big pond, public property, public land. Have no clue what I'm up against. I'm taking simple stuff and try to have a simple time. Hopefully have a good time. Bang it out. And my version of old school is a new way of looking at it. So I'll be back in just a minute. We'll talk some more about it. I was supposed to be fishing a tournament again today. Well, I wanted to fish a tournament. The worst thing about it, this would have been my perfect kind of tournament, my way of fishing, looking at things from my perspective. Staying in dirty water, post-spawn, I'm sure, but just where I grew up, I won more money in that stretch of the lake. Anyway, boat's not done. It's on me this time. I have a live well fitting that I couldn't get put back together. It kind of stripped the thread. And so I went to the lake yesterday and I got the wrong one. I thought I could make it work. And you can only bend stuff so far, so I've got one coming. I gave up on that about 4 o'clock last night. I showed in the last video, my forearm's bruised. Both forearms are scratched up, working on boats. I am bruised from my sternum to my groin, from hanging over the side of that boat and inside that boat, kept falling into it. And finally, at the end, my wife was holding my legs down. I used to be a lot better at that stuff. Thing is, I work on my own boat as much as I can. You ought to know how that stuff works. So if something ever fails, you can fix it yourself. That's a lesson for today. So we're going to go to this little lake. It's about 12, 14 miles. It ain't a long ways away. I'll put this camera down. I am wearing my solar bat sunglasses, my RB3s in mossback green. Perfect color for today, maybe. Check out the link in the description, please. 30% off sale right now. And if you use my promo code that's in that link, you get free shipping. Now, that's commercial time is done. Let's go catch some fish. I hope. There's a lake off in the distance. Oh, it's probably 150 yards down through there. I gotta drag my kayak down there. No big deal. It's dragging it back. It's gonna suck. Well, no climb for a climber. I got time to do this. There's gonna be some wind. Audio may suck. Fishing may suck. I've never fished here. I will say, typical public property is probably, if it has bass in it, they're probably stunted. Probably a bunch of little fish. I know a slot limit. I'll look over here. I'm not keeping any. But that's probably going to be the issue. There's going to be a bunch of little short bass. I'm still going to have fun trying. Let's get on it. Come on. That wasn't bad. Quick look. It's clear water like I thought it would be, which is good. I brought light stuff. It's probably 15 acres of water, standing timber, fairly deep, probably at least in the lower end. So I've got 2 rods with me. I got a spinning rod with a shaky head. I got my wacko worm on the other rod. Very small selection of bait. So let's hit this. It's gonna be windy. I think for starters, I'll try getting the other side out of the wind where I can, maybe y'all can hear me talk to myself. And we're floating. Beautiful. Gonna be gorgeous. It's windy and hot. It ain't spring no more in Missouri, y'all. So in all fairness, this lake, I don't know how much pressure it gets. There's not much shoreline access. I mean, that's rough. There's no boat ramp. I didn't see anything in signs saying I couldn't use a boat. So there is a slot limit on the bass, which is typical for stunted fisheries. And I saw some little bass just now in this stick up. The spawn is 99% over here in Missouri. But I'm going to fish shallow, like a little cove here out of the wind. I'll fish the upper end first before I go down and get in that wind. Throwing a wacky worm first, and we'll see what happens. So there's what the first cast looks like. Might have been a pretty good day to bring a buzz bait or something, but I brought the 2 light rods. See how this goes. It's already scummed up in here like summertime, so. The only grass is a pepper grass, emergent grass. No grass in the lake, it doesn't look like. I love grass, but and this is very shallow. I'm probably too shallow, so fish up through here a little bit. Just have some fun. Throwing my hardcore Wacko worm. I need to work on that name, I know. I'm going to throw it for a little bit. There's a couple 6-8 inch bass right there swimming along. A whole herd, a whole wolf pack. Oh my gosh. 10, 12. Bunch of little bitty bass. Last year's bass. I mean a whole wolf pack of them. Can little bass be a wolf pack too? There are just scads of 4 to 6 inch bass swimming around. I mean everywhere. Unless the same ones keep circling my boat, I guess that's a possibility. Saw one 10-incher swimming up the bank, and it is very shallow, of course. I can see the bottom. I'm probably in 2.5, 3 foot of water out here. I always start new water. I mean, even in dead, I'll start in the upper end. I'll try to find a creek channel. I'll try to get a feel for what the thing's like. Almost always come in the upper end first. Even in hot weather, which it ain't there yet. I got one there for sure. Look at that, way up in there, no water at all. If it's a bass. No, it's a big sunfish. You know, green sunfish. Boy, there's some fine eating right there, y'all. I bet you this place was pretty when they built it. A lot of timber. I kind of remember some of it. Oh, there's one. I was coyote hunting here once years ago. Oh, he threw the bait. That's not good. A little 10-incher. Okay, they're loaded up on this flat, I'll bet. There's two, and another one threw the bait. You know what? And there's a whole story there about June fish, which although we're not June yet, post-spawn fish and they're jumping. Oh my gosh. 2 in a row. Try it again. Post-spawn fish jump. First few weeks of early summer, them fish just will not hold still. I lost a keeper in that tournament the other day. Just come up. I did everything I could to keep that fish down. He kicked my bait back to me. All I can say is sharp hooks and try not to horse them too much. And if you can keep her head down, do, but it's hard to do in a kayak. Of course, these are little bass too. Just think what a big one's going to do to me if there's any big ones in here. Who knows? Those little bass across the pond were surely... There's one right there. Look at that. While I'm talking, there's one. How's that for scripted? Perfect. Boy, they're not going to be very big, I'm afraid. This one ain't jumped yet, anyway. There he jumped. Of course he jumped. They're June bass in May. They're jumping. Well, he thinks he's a good one anyway. All right. Well, there's the first one in the boat. About the same size as the other two. Just a quick assessment, he's pretty scrawny. Come off that tree. Oh, another little one again. Even littler yet. This lake has a 12 to 15 inch slot limit, which means the bass like that could legally be kept, which is pretty small, but the problem is they probably need to be kept. Because it is a problem. Well, they are definitely all cookie cutter fish for the most part. I like cookies, don't get me wrong. They are some massive great old beggins, ain't they? Oh, still fun, but I hate to say I called this, but I think I called it pretty well. There's one hook where you want to see him hooked right there. Bone to the top of the mouth. Every time he's at the hook, you just hope for a better fish, but Evan thinks he's better. Oh, well. He's pulling. Oh, come off. Just another 12-incher. Yeah, I sure am having hooking issues today, and I'm not really sure. Well, I am sure. It's just that time of year partially. I have found it on my hardcore worm, you're going to get more fish if you hook it through the top third of that core, that hardcore. If you go through the middle, you hook less fish, but today it ain't mattering much. I'm still experimenting with it. Still have not tore one up. Well, except for delaminating I talked about. I haven't tore one up. Gonna throw a shaky head around a little bit. Again, that's a worm I make. I make about four different little shaky heads like that. Shaky worm, little bitty finesse worms. I make about four of them, and this is one of them. And I'm gonna chunk it around here a little bit before we get serious back in this timber. A little different than a wacko worm, isn't it? And there's a bite, right? Look at that, first cast. Look at that. And he come off. Look at that. Wow, I guess, okay, that was live. You know, I think a shaky head worm kind of needs a clean bottom, and everything I'm fishing around here has got a pretty good line of scum and crud on the bottom. Not using that for an excuse, but it's hard to go very far with it before you're covered up in gook. Well, there's the first one I've ever had throw one of my worms right there. First time over 100 bass. Chuck my worm, so there you go, something. Well, you know what, y'all? I could probably keep doing this for hours. Just a dink fest like I thought it would be. It's still fun, don't get me wrong, and still liking that my hardcore worm's working pretty good, and I just don't think the lake has the potential. We're also in the otter zone. We're within a mile of a major river, and I've seen some sign of otter, and man, otter are hard on these places. Otter are hard on the big reservoirs, so I'm gonna do something else. I think I'm gonna quit the bass fishing. Be going to the house directly. It is definitely summertime out here. It's 85 degrees, I'll bet. Nice little breeze, but that sun is just beating down. I'm gonna go. God bless you guys. Appreciate you watching. Let me know what y'all were thinking. We'll talk to you later. Now I gotta pull that kayak back up that hill. Oh, no climb for a climber.